You know, sometimes learning English can feel like you need to memorize a dictionary, right? It can feel like there are endless words and grammar rules to learn. It's a lot.
It really is a lot. But here's a little secret. A lot of everyday English isn't about knowing thousands of single words. It's about knowing common phrases that native speakers use all the time.
We hear phrases everywhere, in movies, in shows, and in real conversations. They just sound natural.
Knowing these ready-made phrases can make you sound much more confident and natural, even if you're just starting out. You don't have to build every sentence from scratch.
And they're super practical. You can use them right away in many different situations.
Today, we're sharing 30 common English phrases you'll hear and use every single day. These are the building blocks for everyday English conversation.
That's right. We use these phrases with family, with friends, at work, even when we order food or just say hello. Mastering them will truly boost your English fluency and speaking practice. So get comfortable, grab your tea or just water, and let's get started. All right, let's dive into our first phrase, which is a really common and relaxed one. Go with the flow.
Ah, yes, go with the flow. I love this one because it's all about being flexible and easygoing.
Exactly. It means to relax and adapt to whatever happens, instead of trying to control everything or resist changes. It's about being flexible and accepting things as they come.
So, if our plans change unexpectedly, instead of getting stressed, you just go with the flow and make the best of the new situation.
Perfect example. If your friends suggest a different activity, you could just say, "Oh, I don't really mind, I'll just go with the flow." It shows you're easygoing.
Or, if you're out traveling and something unexpected happens, like a train delay, you might say, "Well, it's a bit of a delay, but we'll just go with the flow and enjoy the extra time."
Let's try it together in a conversation.
"Hey, Emily, our plan got canceled. What do you want to do instead?"
Oh no, well, no worries, Liam. I'm pretty relaxed today, so I'll just go with the flow. What do you suggest?
See how natural that sounds? Go with the flow. It's a great phrase to show you're easygoing.
Let's move to our next phrase, which is a strong one for saying definitely not, or not at all. It's by no means.
By no means is a very firm way to express strong disagreement or a strong denial. It's much stronger than just no.
That's right. You use it when you want to make it very clear that something is not true, or not possible under any circumstances.
So if someone asks, "Are you finished with that difficult project?" you could firmly say, "By no means. I still have hours of work left."
Or if someone suggests you're upset about something, you could reply, "By no means. I'm actually feeling very positive about it." Let's practice. Liam, did you manage to get any sleep last night with all that noise?
By no means, Emily. It was impossible to sleep.
So remember, by no means definitely not or absolutely not.
Next phrase, out of the blue.
Out of the blue. This phrase perfectly describes something that happens unexpectedly or suddenly, without any warning. It's like something just appears without any prior indication.
So, it's about a surprise event or a sudden occurrence.
Precisely. It means something happened without any previous signs or hints. It's like a sudden surprise that comes from nowhere.
So, for example, if your old friend from high school calls you after many years, you could say, "He called me completely out of the blue."
Or, the company announced big changes to our project out of the blue. Nobody was expecting it. Let's try it in a conversation.
You won't believe what happened. I received a job offer from my dream company today.
Wow, that's amazing. That came totally out of the blue. Congratulations.
So, out of the blue means suddenly and unexpectedly. Okay, next phrase is on second thought.
On second thought is a phrase we use when we've changed our mind about something we just said or considered. It indicates a slight shift in our decision or opinion.
It's like saying, "Wait a minute, I've had another idea," or actually, maybe not.
Exactly. It introduces a revised thought or a new perspective after the initial one.
For example, you might first say, I'll have a coffee. And then on second thought, you might add, actually, I think I'll have tea instead. Let's try a quick practice.
Okay, Liam, are you going to the birthday party?
Yeah, I think so. On second thought, maybe I should stay home and get some rest.
See how Liam first agreed but then changed his mind? On second thought signals that change. Next phrase is the bottom line.
The bottom line refers to the most important or essential point in a discussion, situation, or explanation. It's the main takeaway or the crucial factor.
So, it's like getting to the heart of the matter. It cuts through all the extra details and focuses on what's most important.
For instance, if you're discussing the costs of a project, you might say, after all the calculations, the bottom line is that we've gone over budget.
It's the key piece of information you need to understand.
Let's try it. We've talked about all the different options and possibilities, but what's the most important thing to remember?
The bottom line is that we need to make a decision by tomorrow morning.
In other words, the bottom line means get straight to the point. Next up, we have lost for words.
Lost for words. This is a phrase we use when we are so surprised, shocked, or overwhelmed by something that we can't think of anything to say.
It's like being speechless.
Exactly. It implies a temporary inability to speak because your emotions or the situation has left you without anything to say. For example, when she won the award, she was completely lost for words. This means that she was so overwhelmed with emotion that she couldn't speak.
Or, when I saw the damage to my car, I was lost for words. In this case, it's a feeling of shock.
Let's try it out. Liam, I have some amazing news. You got the job.
Wow, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words.
See how Liam couldn't immediately respond because he was so surprised and happy? Lost for words perfectly captures that feeling.
All right, next phrase is take a leap of faith.
Take a leap of faith. This phrase means to do something important or difficult even if you're not sure about the outcome, because you believe it will be good or right.
It's like making a big decision or taking a big step when you don't have all the answers.
It often involves taking a risk, but it's a risk you feel is necessary or important. It's about having courage and trusting the process.
For example, if someone is thinking about starting a new business but is worried about the future, you might tell them, sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and believe in your idea.
Perfect example. Or, she decided to quit her old job and move to a new city without a job waiting for her. It was a real leap of faith.
Let's try this.
I'm thinking about going back to university, but I'm worried about the cost and the time it will take.
I understand, but sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and trust that it will work out for your future.
See how it encourages someone to be brave and commit even when things are uncertain? Next phrase is a very relatable one. On the tip of my tongue.
On the tip of my tongue. It perfectly describes that feeling when you know something, like a word or a name, but you just can't remember it at that exact moment.
That's exactly it. It means you're almost able to recall it, but it's just out of reach, right there, almost ready to be said.
It's so frustrating when that happens. You feel like you know it, but it just won't come out.
For example, I know his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember it.
Or, I'm trying to remember that movie I watched last week. The title is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite get it.
Let's use it in a conversation. Liam, what was that restaurant called, the one with the great pizza?
Oh, I know it. It's right in the tip of my tongue. Next up, go figure.
Go figure is a casual phrase we use when we're talking about something that is surprising, puzzling, or ironic. It's like saying, isn't that strange? Or, can you believe that?
So, it's often used when something happens that doesn't quite make sense, or it's just unexpected.
Exactly. It expresses mild surprise or sometimes a bit of resignation to something odd. You use it when something seems illogical or hard to explain.
For instance, I studied all night for the exam, but I still got a low score. My friend didn't study at all and got an A. Go figure.
That's a classic example. It's used when something seems unfair or just plain weird. Let's try it out. Liam, the new park opened and it's already full of people, even though it's raining.
Really? It's raining and everyone's still there? Go figure.
Next we have clear the air. This phrase means to resolve a disagreement or misunderstanding with someone by talking about it openly and honestly. It's about getting rid of bad feelings or tension in a relationship.
It's like when there's a cloudy atmosphere between people and you want to make it sunny again.
That's a perfect image, Liam. You use it when there's some tension or an unresolved issue that needs to be discussed so everyone can feel better.
For example, Sarah and Jessica had a disagreement, but they decided to meet up and clear the air so they could be friends again.
Or, there was a lot of gossip at work, so the manager called a meeting to clear the air and address everyone's concerns.
Let's try it.
Liam, I feel like there's been some misunderstanding between you and your friend lately.
I feel it too. Maybe we should sit down later and clear the air.
Next phrase is, what's the catch?
What's the catch? This is a phrase you use when something seems too good to be true, and you suspect there might be a hidden problem, condition, or trick.
Yes, it implies suspicion or caution. When an offer sounds incredibly easy or beneficial, you automatically wonder if there's a hidden disadvantage.
So, if someone offers you a free vacation, you might think, wow, this sounds amazing, but what's the catch?
Exactly. You're looking for the hidden cost or the tricky part. Or if a new product promises incredible results with no effort, you might ask, what's the catch?
It's about looking for the small print, the part that isn't immediately obvious.
Let's use it in a conversation.
Emily, I found a new English course online and it's completely free and it promises fluency in 1 month.
That sounds amazing, Liam. But what's the catch? Is it really that simple?
What's the catch? Is your way of saying, I'm a bit suspicious. Tell me the hidden truth. Next up, jump to conclusions.
Jump to conclusions. This phrase means to make a decision or judgment about something quickly, without having all the facts or enough information. It's about assuming something is true too soon.
So, it's like quickly deciding something without thinking it through properly or waiting for all the details.
You use it when someone forms an opinion or makes a judgment too fast, often incorrectly, because they haven't considered everything.
For example, don't jump to conclusions just because he didn't call you back. Maybe his phone battery died.
Or, she saw them talking and immediately jumped to conclusions that they were planning something against her, when they were just discussing work.
It's a warning against making quick, uninformed judgments.
Let's try it out. Liam, I saw Sarah packing a suitcase, so she must be leaving the company.
Whoa, Emily, don't jump to conclusions. Maybe she's just going on a business trip or a short vacation. All right, next phrase. Get a load of this.
Get a load of this. This is a casual phrase you use when you want to get someone's attention because you're about to share something surprising, interesting, or unbelievable. It's like saying, listen to this or check this out.
So, you use it to introduce something noteworthy or unexpected that you're about to tell someone.
Exactly. It's a way to prepare someone for a piece of news or information that might be a bit shocking or very amusing.
For example, I was walking home today and get a load of this. A cat was riding on the back of a dog.
That's a great example. Or, you won't believe what happened at work today. Get a load of this. They completely changed the meeting schedule at the last minute.
It's a fun way to start a story or share something surprising.
Let's practice it. Liam, you're not going to believe what I just read in the news.
Oh? Get a load of this then. Tell me what happened.
Next phrase. You live and learn.
You live and learn is a phrase you say when you've made a mistake or experienced something new, and you've gained new knowledge or understanding from it. It acknowledges that mistakes are part of the learning process.
Yes, it implies that you've learned a valuable lesson from an experience, often one that was unexpected or a bit difficult.
So, it's about realizing something new after an experience, sometimes after doing something wrong.
For instance, I tried to fix the computer myself, but I made it worse. Well, you live and learn.
Or, I thought I knew everything about that topic, but after today's lesson, you live and learn. There's so much more to know.
Let's use it in a conversation.
I bought that new phone without reading any reviews, and it's terrible.
Oh no, well you live and learn, right? Next time you'll check the reviews first.
Right. Next we have, it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. This is a common phrase we use to say that something is not very difficult or complicated to understand or do. It means it's simpler than it might appear.
It's a way of saying, this isn't as hard as it looks, or anyone can understand this.
Right. You use it to emphasize that something is straightforward, even if someone is making it sound complex.
For example, learning to ride a bicycle for the first time might seem tricky, but really, it's not rocket science once you get the hang of it.
Or, following these simple instructions for cooking dinner. It's not rocket science. Anyone can do it.
It's a reassuring phrase, telling someone not to overthink things.
Let's try it out. Liam, I'm trying to figure out how to use this new coffee machine, but it looks so complicated.
Don't worry, Emily. Just follow the steps. It's not rocket science once you read the instructions. Okay, let's head to our following phrase. Don't sweat it.
Don't sweat it is a very casual and friendly phrase that means don't worry about it or don't get stressed about it. You use it to tell someone not to worry about something, especially if it's a small problem.
Use it to tell someone to relax and not to overthink things that aren't a big deal.
It's a reassuring phrase letting someone know that a situation isn't as serious as they might think, or that you're not bothered by something they've done.
For example, if someone apologizes for being a few minutes late, you might say, "Oh, don't sweat it, you're perfectly on time."
Or if you accidentally spill a little water, your friend might say, "Don't sweat it, it's just water, it'll dry."
It's a great phrase for everyday reassurance.
Let's try it. Liam, I'm so sorry, I completely forgot to bring the book you asked for.
Ah, don't sweat it, Emily. I can always get it later. No big deal at all. See how don't sweat it immediately eases the tension?
Next phrase. Round the clock.
Round the clock. This phrase means all day and all night, continuously, without stopping. It refers to something that happens 24 hours a day.
Yes, it implies something that is happening without interruption, covering all hours of the day and night.
So, if a hospital's emergency room is always open, you could say, the hospital works round the clock.
Exactly, or the construction crew worked round the clock to finish the building on time.
It emphasizes continuous activity.
Let's use it in a conversation.
That new online store is so popular, I heard they're getting orders non-stop.
Yes, they're working round the clock to fulfill all the orders, even at night.
Right. Round the clock means continuously 24 hours a day. Next up, you can say that again.
You can say that again. This is a very common and enthusiastic phrase we use to show strong agreement with what someone has just said. It means, that's absolutely true, or I completely agree with you.
So, it's not actually asking someone to repeat themselves, but rather emphasizing that you agree very strongly.
Precisely. You use it when you hear something that you feel is very accurate or a very good point.
For example, if someone says, "It's really hot today," you could reply, "You can say that again. I'm melting."
Or, learning English takes a lot of practice. You could respond, "You can say that again. It's all about consistency."
It's a casual and lively way to show you're totally on board with what's been said.
Let's try it out. Liam, this new coffee machine makes the best coffee ever.
You can say that again, Emily. It's absolutely delicious. Next, get your act together.
Get your act together is a phrase you use to tell someone or yourself to start behaving in a more organized, responsible, or effective way. It means to improve your behavior or situation.
So it's like saying, stop being disorganized or lazy and start being serious and effective.
Use it when someone is not performing well or is being messy or irresponsible, and they need to improve. It's often used as advice or a firm suggestion.
For example, if you want to pass your exams, you really need to get your act together and start studying seriously.
Or, the team lost several games in a row. They need to get their act together if they want to win the championship.
It's a direct way to tell someone to sort things out.
Let's try it in a conversation. Liam, I've been feeling so unproductive lately, just wasting time.
I get that feeling sometimes, Emily. Maybe it's time to get your act together and make a daily schedule to follow.
Let's move to our next phrase, to each their own.
To each their own. This is a phrase we use to express that everyone has different tastes, preferences, or opinions, and we should respect those differences.
Yes, it implies that what one person likes or chooses might not be what another person likes or chooses, and that's perfectly fine. It's a way of accepting individual preferences without judgment.
So, if someone tells you they love a kind of food you really don't like, you could just say, well, to each their own.
Exactly. It acknowledges that people are different and that's okay. Or, I can't believe he chose that car color. But hey, to each their own.
It's a simple way to show tolerance and understanding of individual choices.
Let's use it in a conversation.
I don't understand why people enjoy exercising so much. It's just so tiring.
Well, to each their own, Liam. Some people really love it.
Right. To each their own means everyone has different preferences, and we should respect that. Next up, it's a tough call.
It's a tough call. This phrase means that a decision is difficult to make because both options or sides have strong arguments, or there are significant pros and cons for each.
So, it's about a difficult choice where there's no clear, easy answer.
Precisely, you use it when you're faced with a problem and it's hard to decide which path to take.
For example, both candidates for the job are excellent. It's a really tough call to decide who to hire.
Or, should I go to the party or stay home and study? It's a tough call because I want to do both.
It expresses that you're in a tricky situation and the decision isn't obvious.
Let's try it out. Liam, should I buy the more expensive phone with all the new features? Or the cheaper one that does the basic things?
That's a tough call, Emily. Both have their benefits. Next phrase is, see eye to eye.
See eye to eye means to agree with someone or have the same opinion about something. If two people see eye to eye, they share the same views and understanding.
It's about being in agreement or having a shared perspective.
Use it when you and another person have similar thoughts or opinions on a topic.
For example, my brother and I rarely see eye to eye on politics. This means they usually disagree all the time.
Or, luckily the whole team sees eye to eye on the new project direction, so we can start working.
It's a clear way to express whether there's agreement or disagreement.
Let's try it. Liam, do you think we should try that new cafe down the street?
Yes, we definitely see eye to eye on that. I've been wanting to try it all week.
Next phrase, the pros and cons.
The pros and cons is a very common phrase we use when we are talking about the advantages and disadvantages of something. Pros are the good points, and cons are the bad points.
Yes, you use this phrase when you are analyzing a situation, a decision, or an idea, and you want to consider all the positive and negative aspects.
So, if you're thinking about buying a new car, you would weigh the pros and cons of each model before deciding.
Exactly, or, before starting a business, it's important to consider all the pros and cons very carefully.
It's a very practical phrase for decision-making and discussion.
Let's use it in a conversation.
Emily, I'm thinking about taking a long vacation next month.
That sounds lovely. Have you thought about the pros and cons of taking it then, like busy travel times versus quiet beaches?
Right. Next phrase. Long story short.
Long story short. is a super useful phrase we use when we want to summarize a long story or explanation very briefly, getting straight to the main point or the conclusion.
So, it's like saying, to make a long story short, or in a nutshell.
Use it when you've had a lot of details or events leading up to something, but you just want to share the main outcome or key information quickly.
For example, I had a lot of trouble getting to the airport, but long story short, I made my flight just in time.
Or, I spent hours trying to fix my computer, but long story short, I ended up having to buy a new one.
It's a great way to save time and get to the point in a conversation.
Let's try it out. Liam, what happened with that complicated meeting you had yesterday?
Well, it was a really long discussion with many different opinions, but long story short, we finally reached an agreement. Okay, what do we have next? Call it even.
Call it even means to agree that no one owes anything to the other person, usually after a small debt or favor. It's about balancing things out so that neither person has an advantage or disadvantage over the other.
So, it's like saying, no one owes anyone anything.
Use it to settle a small balance. For example, if you bought coffee yesterday, and I buy it today, we might say, let's call it even.
Or, you helped me move furniture last week and I just helped you with your garden. Let's call it even.
It's a friendly way to balance out small favors or debts.
Let's try it.
Liam, I owe you $5 from yesterday.
Oh, don't worry about it, Emily. You bought me lunch last week. Let's just call it even.
See how it easily resolves a small outstanding debt or favor? Next we have, don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong is a very important phrase we use when we want to make sure someone doesn't misunderstand what we're saying, especially if our previous statement might sound negative or critical.
Yes, it's a way to clarify your intention and prevent misinterpretation. You're saying, this is what I mean, please don't think I mean something else.
So, if you say something that might sound bad, you follow it with, don't get me wrong, to explain your true, more positive or neutral meaning.
For instance, I think his idea is a bit complicated. Don't get me wrong, it's a very creative idea, but maybe not practical for us. Here, you're clarifying you're not saying the idea is bad, just complicated.
Or, I don't really like crowded places. Don't get me wrong, I love meeting new people, but I prefer smaller groups.
It's a great phrase for being tactful and precise in your English communication.
Let's use it in a conversation. Emily, I think that new movie was a bit slow.
Don't get me wrong, Liam, I appreciate the acting, but I agree the story could have moved faster.
See how don't get me wrong helps prevent the other person from thinking you totally dislike the movie? Next phrase, read you loud and clear.
Read you loud and clear. This phrase means I understand you perfectly, or I've heard and understood your message very clearly.
So, it's a strong way to confirm understanding.
Use it when someone has explained something important, and you want to assure them you've got the message completely.
For example, if your boss gives you very detailed instructions, you could say, okay, I read you loud and clear. I'll get it done.
Or, my friend told me not to be late for the meeting, and I said, don't worry, I read you loud and clear. Let's try it out. Liam, remember, the deadline for the report is absolutely tomorrow. No extensions.
Got it, Emily. I read you loud and clear. The report will be ready. Next phrase is, make ends meet.
Make ends meet. This phrase means to earn just enough money to cover your basic living expenses without going into debt. It's about having just enough to survive financially.
So, it implies a financial struggle, or at least a situation where money is tight.
You use it when someone is talking about managing their finances carefully to cover rent, food, bills, and other necessities.
For example, it's hard for many families to make ends meet with the rising cost of living.
Or, after losing her job, she struggled to make ends meet until she found a new one.
It's a common phrase in conversations about budgeting and financial challenges.
Let's try it. Liam, how are you finding things since you started your new part-time job?
It's okay, Emily, but it's still a bit tough to make ends meet every month.
Now we have, you win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some. This is a phrase we use to accept that life has both successes and failures, and you can't always win every time. It's about acknowledging that things don't always go your way.
Yes, it's a way to express a philosophical or realistic view about life's ups and downs. It helps you accept setbacks without too much disappointment.
So, if you try something new and it doesn't work out, you might just say, you win some, you lose some. It's a phrase for showing resilience and a healthy perspective.
Or, I really wanted that promotion, but I didn't get it this time. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. Let's use it in a conversation.
Emily, I spent hours preparing for that presentation, and it didn't go as well as I hoped.
I know that feeling. But hey, you win some, you lose some. The important thing is you tried your best.
Right. Now we're at our last phrase for today, which is, keep me posted.
Keep me posted is a very common and useful phrase that means keep me updated or inform me regularly about the situation or progress.
It's about asking someone to continue sharing news or developments with you.
You use it when you want to receive ongoing information about something. Use it when you're interested in the outcome of a situation and want to know what happens next.
For example, I'm waiting to hear back about my job application. My friend told me to keep her posted on any news.
Or, they're still discussing the new project. Our manager asked us to keep him posted on any decisions.
It's a simple way to ask for updates.
Let's try it out. Liam, are you still planning to organize that charity event next month?
Yes, we're making progress. I'll keep you posted on the details as they come together.
And that brings us to the end of our 30 common English phrases for everyday use. We really hope you enjoyed learning these essential expressions that native speakers use all the time.
It was a great journey through phrases that will truly boost your English listening and speaking practice. From go with the flow to make ends meet, these phrases are the building blocks of real English conversation.
So, how did you do? Did you know some of these phrases already? Or perhaps you knew all of them, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for spending this time with us and allowing us to be a part of your English learning journey. Keep practicing, keep listening, and take care, everyone.